do this.
Yeah, okay, and we are live. It is Craig Harris, the black man in the green chair, and I am not drinking anything yet, as I'm still recovering from the Irish holidays. Everybody gets granted that one day of being Irish, but this is Craig's Corner. It's episode 4. I know it says episode 5, but I'm a YouTube novice. But I am here with Gamers United, a young man that's on YouTube. And hey, Gamers United, go ahead and shout yourself out, my friend.
Hey, what's up, guys? Gamers United here. If you like talking about Xbox, PlayStation, just the console we're talking in general, go subscribe to me on my channel. We do the same thing as Craig pretty much, just a little bit differently in a different kind of view.
All right, well, there you go. And I do appreciate you coming in here on a Saturday. And how's your family doing, by the way?
Family's doing really good. It's really good to be here, man, and I'm ready to get some Xbox talking going on.
All right, well, here we go. One of the things that, and very quickly, this young man is, he's a hardcore gamer. Everybody knows me. I'm novice, although I did beat Horizon Zero Dawn. I won't give anything away. That was a cool game, cool story. But one of the thing that brought me to your channel was kind of a thread line of, I guess a couple weeks ago, the Xbox community just went nuts when the reviews for Horizon Zero Dawn came out, and they were tweeting Phil Spencer. It was like they're in full meltdown mode. In your opinion, as an Xbox guy and as a gamer, and also as a consumer, why do you think and why do you feel that some of the Xbox community, not you, but some people in the community lost their damn minds? Go ahead.
I think they're just jealous because, I don't think that it's any like lie or anything that PlayStation has had the better exclusives this generation. I mean, Xbox has had some good games. We got Halo 5, we got Gears 4, and then we got a couple of other titles that were okay. But I mean, we don't have any heavy hitters like new IP wise as we do for Horizon Zero Dawn, Bloodborne. All those games that have come out on the Sony side, they've really interested me, and I think they really interest a lot of Xbox people, and I think they're honestly just jealous that those games aren't on their preferred platform.
Okay, well, let me ask you, what do you think stopping them from just going to the store and buying one, and a PlayStation, because you can get one for a couple $100, give or take.
Yeah, you can. I mean, for me, and maybe for a lot of other people, I mean, my friends are on Xbox. And I don't want to just abandon my friends and go pick up another console just to play like a game or two, even though if I did go get a PlayStation 4, I'd have a lot of exclusives to play. But I think it's just the fact that, friends are on Xbox, and a lot of people just love the Xbox brand itself, and they don't want to go switch to the other side.
Well, right, but honestly, it wouldn't be a switch. It just you would pick up another console and plug it in. But I understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. What do you think, and what do you say about there were some people, allegedly, I don't know if they were PC guys or Xbox guys, or hell, it could have been a PlayStation person, that ratted out the ending of Horizon. What do you think about those people like that? Do you think they need to be rolled away hard and put away wet, or what do you think about guys like that?
I didn't hear about that, but if you're spoiling the ending to a game that's just came out, I don't think that's right, especially if you are a YouTuber or you have like a good following on social media. I don't think it's right. I think you should at least give the game like a good month to come out and let people play it before you spoil it at any kind.
Well, I've heard that. Now, what game do you like to play on the Xbox?
Now, I mean, you mentioned that I'm a hardcore gamer, and I think I am a hardcore gamer because I know a lot of information about Xbox and PlayStation, but I would consider myself a casual when it comes to buying these games. Yeah. A lot of my games that I play right now, I've been playing Overwatch a lot. I love the RPG scene, so I've been playing The Witcher 3 a lot. I play my Call of Duties, and, even though PS4 is the place to play Call of Duty because you get the map packs a month early, I still prefer Xbox because of my friends, but I've been playing For Honor. That's pretty cool. Played Gears, rebeat the campaign again like a month ago. That was some pretty cool stuff. Halo 5 was cool for about a year, but after that, I just kind of got dry on that. Got tired of doing the same thing over and over again. They do add some good updates to the game itself, but I'm ready to move on. Ready for the next title to come to Xbox. And yeah, Halo Wars 2 didn't do it for me, so I'm just waiting for either Crackdown 3 or State of Decay 2 to get announced. So.
All right, now let me ask you this: as far as the way, do you think Xbox kind of do you feel that they kind of dropped the ball a little bit with the way they're how they put their games out? Like you mentioned Halo Wars 2, which is their first new IP in in 90 days, give or take.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but it's out. Nevertheless, it's out. When is, and maybe you probably know this because I've not been able to see, or I don't know where to look. When is the next new IP for Xbox coming out? I don't care if it's AAA or AA. Just what do you know of any updates or anything like that, or any game that's coming out?
Any new IPs? I don't know if I could say anything for new IPs. I know Scalebound was supposed to be the new IP for last year, and then it got pushed to this year, and then it got canceled. So that was supposed to be the new IP. I don't know if you consider State of Decay 2 a new IP. I don't know if you would consider well, I guess Recore was a new IP, but I don't know if you can. Well, Crackdown 3 isn't a new IP, but those are some pretty big games pushing the limits. So I don't know anything about new IPs for right now. Maybe something will get announced. Hopefully, I'm always down for that, but looking right now, I don't know.
Yeah, that's part of my issue. Like I know it's Sony. Well, of course, Mass Effect for everybody comes out Tuesday, but I know it's Sony as far as their next new big IP. It's the following week with MLB The Show. So, and I think that's one of the issues. Do you think Microsoft? You think they need to kind of spread the love around during the year and get out of the way of the giant multi-plat games that'll be at the end of the year, like Red Dead Redemption and possibly a new Star Wars game? Basically, should they kind of should they put out more games during the year instead of bigging up on just the end of the year where Santa Claus comes down the chimney?
Yeah, man, I think they definitely should spread their games out. To be honest, a lot of games come out in the fall, and I feel like a lot of games really go unnoticed because there's just so many games coming out for the holidays, and people.
What, still there?
So I would really like to see Microsoft switch from releasing most of their exclusives from the fall to spreading it throughout the year. I know with Sea of Thieves, that is a new IP. I would love to see that come out during the summer, because if that comes out during the fall, I just think it's going to go unnoticed, honestly.
Yeah, I think the big game during the fall is going to be the Star Wars Battlefront, for the simple fact that
and Red Dead 2, yep.
Yeah, we had the Star Wars movie that just came out, made $1 billion at Rogue One. There's another movie coming out, and then God rest her soul, we had the death of Carrie Fisher, and the collectors are going to run out and buy the game. They may not ever open the game, but they'll buy the game. So a friend of mine, Quincy, he's a Star Wars collector, and he bought the PS4 with the Darth Vader on it. He don't even know how to play on the PS4, but he just bought it. He's a collector. That's just what he does. So yeah, he's a big kid. So kind of like
that's a lot of people, man. A lot of people go out there and buy the limited edition bundles just because they look cool and just because they collect value. So yeah.
He's trying to get somebody to autograph it because he's going to the D23. So he's taking it down there to see if he can get somebody from the cast to autograph the box or something like that to make it worth even more money. So
gotcha.
But so let me ask you this. This is a gaming question. You consider yourself a casual. So can you take yourself back to the Microsoft launch? What do you think they got right? And what do you think they got wrong with their launch? Let's start with what they got wrong. We'll start on the negative side, but we'll end on a positive.
So I think that what they got wrong was by trying to make Xbox the one thing in the living room. The whole DRM talk, was pretty wrong. They shouldn't have definitely come out saying all that stuff. And just the fact that the Xbox One had to connect without an option to not have it for, $100 more than the PS4 really, really hurt the system. And just the fact that Microsoft went first in announcing their console, Sony was able to get up on stage and just counter basically everything that Microsoft said. And I really just think that hurt them really badly in the long run. I definitely think that this console generation itself was over before it even started. Microsoft shot themselves in their own foot. That's one of the major things that I think that they did wrong is the DRM talk. The whole fact that the Xbox One just looks like a VCR from like 20 years ago doesn't help it at all. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Now, what are some of the things you feel they got right?
Some of the things I feel they got right. You know, honestly, it was a long time ago. I kind of like blanking out right now on the things they got right. I mean, the launch games they had were pretty decent. You know, Dead Rising 3 interested me. That
Facts.
was a really good game. There were a lot of
Facts.
zombies on screen at that time. I thought the Kinect was pretty cool, even though it was $100 more. I thought it was pretty cool with what they were trying to go for. You know, with the air gesture and the move controls and being able to say Xbox on, Xbox off. I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe ahead of its time, but that's one of the things I definitely think they got right.
Yeah, I agree with you. As far as the games, that the games is what when they showed the Forza game, and remember, I don't know if you remember, they brought the car out, it came up out of the stage, you know, and then they showed Rise, I think Son of Rome. I think they showed Titanfall as well. I mean, it is going back in the time machine. I understand
Yeah,
that.
they did show Titanfall because it came out in March 2014.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was interesting. I do agree. One of the things what people have to really understand is with the smart TVs, especially the higher end ones, they already had voice activation on them. So if you had your Xbox or anything for that matter plugged in, and you walked in your room, you said TV on, the Xbox would come on automatically. Just a lot of people at Xbox didn't know that, you know. So, and it's because my TV still does that now. You know,
Oh,
I
okay.
walk in a room and it recognizes my voice, and I can turn it on like that. Not I still prefer the remote. I'm old school. Give me I'm like, what's wrong with the remote? You know, so
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just me. I'm an old man, like I said, so that's cool too. But yeah, I think another thing that they got, you mentioned the DRM. That's even though that's happening now, I think everybody can agree that's happening right now, no matter what. It felt forced, you know, and
It
it felt
did.
like
It did feel forced. Exactly.
yeah, and I think Microsoft, like Sony was a generation before them, was guilty of hubris, which is, you know, oh, we're the big dog, you know, we're the big fish, we're the big dog. You're gonna come join and do what we want anyway. Because I don't know if people remember, and you may not remember this, but when the PS3 launched, then it was $5.99 and it was in USA Today. It was the headline on USA Today. And then you had the head of Sony at the time saying that people will go get part-time jobs because the console was so good. And people were like, yeah, you forget about that. They went and bought Xboxes, you know?
No way. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
real young when that happened, so I was not keeping up with the console stuff at that point in my life.
That's a true story. I mean, that's why the PS3 had, you know, they had a disastrous launch. People didn't care about Blu-ray and stuff like that. It eventually got to that, but it took that movie Avatar. When Avatar came out to the theaters, and then everybody that went to saw it in the theater was like, well, I'm gonna buy that in Blu-ray. All of a sudden, all the Blu-rays came down. You know, you could get a Panasonic Blu-ray and LG Blu-ray. All these Blu-rays hit the market that were it made everything affordable. You know, you could, you know, hell, even right now today, you can go get a brand new Blu-ray for what, $59. I'm talking brand new.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah. So, but but Sony again, I think they're both guilty of hubris on that. Mark, let me ask you this. This is a gaming question. You made some pretty, and everybody, shout out to the viewers that are watching. There's only a handful, but go check out Gamers United channel. He kicks the straight up ballistic facts. Just check him out. Go ahead and sub to his channel, and you know he's got good content on his channel. One of the things that really caught my attention is that you actually called out a lot of the BS that the Xbox community was saying. So kind of go into that and kind of how the process that took you from 0 to 60 on that, as far as how you got to that point, feeling like you wanted to say something about what was going on within the Xbox community.
Well, I mean, it all started with all the exclusive game talking about how Xbox has no exclusives. And I just felt that I needed to say something because honestly, I was tired of watching these pro Xbox YouTubers, only Xbox YouTubers, you know. So
Right.
I was tired of seeing them damage controlling and everything. And I was just I was just really tired of seeing them damage controlling everything. And I thought that, you know, I needed to speak up for the community and just share my thoughts and opinions about that stuff.
You dropped out.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, that's okay. You dropped that. That's all right. Go ahead and finish. If they did, I didn't hear you. I don't know if anybody else heard you, but
No, I
I
think
heard.
it cut out. But
Okay, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
I was just really tired of seeing Xbox people, talk about how, Sony doesn't have good exclusives and all this, because I think they honestly have better exclusives than we do.
Right. Well, I mean, now nobody has an exclusive. If you
Yeah, nobody has
believe the
exclusives
hype,
now.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I told people, and I did my rant video. People don't know this, that you had people have to really understand that the PC market, that's where everything wants to go. I mean, look, if you don't, I'm a consumer and I can't stand places like GameStop. And if I don't like them and I'm just a small consumer, imagine a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that has to share the wealth. They don't want to do that. So they
Right.
ultimately want you to be able to go to the Microsoft website or store or Sony website or store and buy the game from them directly. You cut the middleman out. You make more money on the end, maybe pass some savings on to me, the little consumer. At least that's what I'm hoping. But when you spoke out, and appreciate you coming in and doing this, because you definitely didn't have to. It's Saturday afternoon.
No problem. No problem. I enjoy talking Xbox. Enjoy it.
Yeah, and I appreciate your time. Let me ask you, the comments in your section, I won't repeat some of them because you made legitimate points, but just kind of tell people, were you surprised with the reaction that you got for the most part in your because you did a follow-up video?
Yep.
So,
I was very surprised at what went down in my comments section. I think there was over 100 comments, maybe even more than that. But I would say a good 80% of them were all bashing me and just bashing the Xbox brand in general. I was like, guys, what are we doing here? I'm telling the Sony guys that y'all won this generation, that you guys have the better exclusives, and y'all are still bashing me. I'm just like, what? And then even the Xbox guys were trying to damage control some more about what I was saying, and I was just like, come on, man, y'all need to literally face the facts, face the truth about what's going down this generation. And they do not want to admit that whatsoever, and they get really, really mad whenever somebody points it out. It's pretty crazy, honestly.
yeah. Now, you brought up it's not their quote unquote console of choice. I think I agree with that. But let me ask you this. Let me try to frame this question. All right, it's not their console of choice. So would you say that they're just hardcore X? Do you feel that you said they were jealous? Do you feel it's more jealousy, or do you feel more envy? If you kind of had to step back from it and then come back in, do you feel more jealousy on their end, or more envy on their end?
I think maybe a little bit of both. I think that honestly, all the Xbox guys really wanted to see the Xbox brand just be where the PlayStation is at. They obviously want their side to do better and stuff, but I think they're ultimately just a little bit jealous, that they have some really good games coming out, that their system's just doing really well. In the media, Xbox is getting bashed on. It's getting a little bit better for sure, but it's been a rough few years for Xbox guys.
Well, okay, that's pretty interesting. That actually leads me to a question here about a game coming out next week. I don't know if you've seen this. This was confirmed by Digital Foundry. Mass Effect Andromeda. It is 900p on the Xbox One, but the cutscenes are like 750p.
What? I have not seen that.
Yeah, they just confirmed this, I want to say about maybe 20 hours ago, and it's lit up the web. I mean, I'm a big Mass Effect guy. I may be the biggest one but you may know. I don't have a Mass Effect dedicated channel, but I love the lore and stuff of that game. It literally looks like a Xbox 360 game. And you brought up the damage controlling. There are people literally you may find this funny, that were in your comment section. They're damage controlling over there on the Digital Foundry page right now.
No way. I've not heard about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, saying that they didn't play it on the Xbox One S, and I'm like, well, that's exactly what they played it on. And just
wow. Come on, yeah. Xbox guys. We got to do better than that. We got to get some better comebacks. Come on.
All right, let me ask you this, because another Xbox guy, Widowmaker, he brought up I don't know, did you watch PSX last year? Or,
I think
Sony?
I might have watched a little bit of it. Was
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it mainly based around, PSVR and then I also PS4 Pro and Slim?
Yeah, they showed like they announced Last of Us 2 or announced that they're working on it, a new Uncharted game, things like that. Now you brought up games and exclusives and things like that. Do you think that PSX kind of pushed them being the X bones, the X twats, not you, the guy who's just going to walk into the store and pick up his game and go home and, go home and play like a normal human being does? Do you think that 9 to 10% of people in the Xbox community, you think that kind of pushed them over the edge with PSX announcing those games and showing those games?
Just the normal guys?
Well, yeah, and the ones that went nuts on Phil Spencer.
I think maybe a little bit they went nuts. Like I said, it all comes down to jealousy and wishing that they had that game or a game similar to that on our box. But I like games that are very story driven, and Sony seems to be hitting the ball out of the park this generation with games like that. I mean, even God of War that's supposed to be coming this year or rumored to be coming this year looks really story driven compared to the other God of Wars that have come before then. And watching PSX, it's just really interesting to see all these great games get announced because I was honestly interested for every single one of them. And I don't know if I can say the same for the Xbox side.
Hey, all right. Do you think Xbox should try to have more events scheduled? Like, Sony has this, they'll show up at Paris Week, Paris Game, whatever that is. They have PSX, they have Tokyo Gaming Show. Do you think Microsoft needs to bring back X-Fest? I don't know if you remember what that was. X-Fest was generally it was an Xbox conference. It was 2 days. It was a weekend. It was generally in Palm Springs. Very nice in Palm Springs. If anybody who's ever been to Palm Springs, just go. I don't care if you have to hitchhike it. Go. But do you feel that Xbox needs to have some more, I guess more conferences, even if they're 45 minutes long?
Yeah, they definitely need to have more conferences. I thought it was confirmed like a couple weeks ago that they were bringing Xbox Fan Fest back. If I'm not mistaken, I think Larry Herb actually tweeted something about that.
That's great. Hey, Larry Herb's the first, I guess, superstar that answered me on Twitter when Mass Effect went backwards compatible on the on the Xbox. I said, "Are you sure you're not? This is not a troll." He said, "No, you can go get all the games now." That's why I bought my Xbox. So and I bought it and I activated because it gold or something like that, and I bought Elite Dangerous and I was having fun, and then all of a sudden I'm like, where are my games? I kept going in and they ain't got no games, So, and Sony, like you said, they were releasing more story driven games. Now, do you think we're going to sort of bring the plane in here for a landing here? As the future of Xbox is about to happen, do you think that some of the Xbox community has spent a year and a half talking about something called the Ryzen chip and something called the Scorpio, which is something that I can't go buy as a consumer? Do you think it feels part of the damage control? Or they just really are kind of wiping their hands clean of it, saying that, okay, you guys got it, being the Sony community, and we're just going to talk about a new console coming out?
Yeah, definitely. There's been way more talk about Scorpio this year than there has in a long time. And, it's kind of sad that we're only talking about Scorpio because I watch a lot of BGST members, like Crap Gamer, Next Gen 720, all of them. I will really watch a lot of those people. And then just these last couple of weeks, it's all been about the Scorpio and hardware talk. And it's just, I really am just honestly a little bit tired of talking about Scorpio and just hearing things about it because we don't have any new solid information. It's all leaks. It's all rumors. It's all speculation at this point. So I think they just need to move on at this point.
Yeah, I like that Next Gen. He's doing God's work, I like
the Lord's work. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
The Lord's work. Yeah, I'm sorry. No disrespect to Hard 8. Yeah, because he's doing God's work. And Next Gen's doing the Lord's work and doing the woo side. That one video I had to stop. He had me like, that dude's entertaining as hell. So yeah, I like some of the stuff he puts out. It's funny.
Do you mind if I ask you a question, man?
Yeah, I'm about to say, ask me anything. I've been sitting here asking you. I don't want you to feel like it's the Inquisition here. Go ahead and
So you said that you got your Xbox One because of Mass Effect going backwards compatible on Xbox One. So are you a Sony guy, or have you always been an Xbox guy? Are you somewhere in the middle? What's your story?
I'm a gamer. I'm older than most of the gamers on YouTube. My first game was on the Atari 2600. So it was a game called Asteroids. I mean, it was that long ago, and it was an arcade game. But so I have had every iteration of consoles except the ColecoVision, which this is before your time, probably. So I've went from Atari to Intellivision. I skipped ColecoVision. I didn't buy. I got a Nintendo, the one that came with Duck Hunt. I got a Sega Genesis after that. So I've had an iteration of almost every console. So yeah, I'm pretty much right down the middle. I like the Mass Effect series. I've always told people that it could go toe to toe with the Gears of War series, the Gears 1, 2, and 3, not Gears Judgment. Let's throw Judgment out the window. I mean, they were thinking about, Judgment I thought was fun to play, but it just didn't feel good to play it. But yeah, for me, I guess I'm kind of right down the middle. I don't like the damage controlling on either end of it. If you win, you win. I've said before, you may have two boxers that hate each other, going at it during the press conferences and stuff like that. Still, at the end of the fight, they will either touch gloves or they'll give each other a hug or something like that. I was hoping that's what the Sony people would do, because it got to a point. Doing. No, they beat a dead horse. And I said this during my rant video. Everything that happened on Twitter last week with those games coming to, whether they're compressed, streamed, or whatever, instead of you all just walking away after you pinned them and got the 3 count, or however you want to take it, the TKO, you went to gluttony, and you just kept pounding and pounding and pounding. And now it looks like, outside looking in, Sony has no exclusives. Now, I understand inside out, they will still have their exclusives, but some of those games are going to go, but there's 400 games. So yeah, I'm not going to put all of them on PlayStation now. I understand that. But yeah, I'm kind of right down the middle. I hope that answers your question. I mean to ramble on you like that. So.
No, it's all good. I was going to say, sell me on Mass Effect, because I've never played a Mass Effect game in my life.
You said you like the single player narrative. You said that's kind of more your thing.
Yeah.
It's an RPG, and at every point in any RPG, there has to be a selling point of the character. For me, it was because, one, you can create your own character, male or female. They can either be a hard ass or a softie. They can come right down the middle. That actually helps adjust what you can say in line in the game. The harder, the more of a bastard you are, the more those choices are going to come up for you. And you may run into a situation where, hey, being actually a pretty nice guy would have helped you out. So
I like games like that really influence your decisions and stuff, kind of like The Witcher almost, or even Fable at that point.
Yeah, Fable, Witcher. He was going to be a Witcher. You're right. Yeah, there were some things you're still playing Witcher. I don't want to give it away. Yeah, I've beaten Witcher like 4 times, even with the with the new DLC packs, and I recommend that for everybody.
Wait, how long is the main quest?
For me, oh boy, I put in it on the main quest at least 60 hours.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm only 12 hours in at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I did the DLC, so I don't know if you got the Game of the Year edition that came with Blood and Wine.
I did. Got so much to do.
Yeah, you got a lot of work to do, but it's fun. It is fun.
It is really fun. If you have not picked up that game, I recommend picking it up immediately. One of the best RPGs of this generation, for sure.
Yeah, if not the best. And I've told people there's been 4 really good RPGs that I've played. Mind you, I've not played Nier Automata or Neo, not yet. But the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, the 4K build, that was good.
That was a good game.
Yeah. That was good too, but it was linear. It wasn't open world, but it was still fun to play. But this thing that just came out that Sony did, Horizon Zero Dawn, it's the best game I've played. And I've been playing since 1976.
That's the one game that's like pushing me to get a PlayStation because it just looks so awesome. I love the whole like bow and arrow thing, and then the mechanical machines and the open world. It looks so beautiful. I just want to get lost in that world.
Yeah, I was telling somebody, I'm like, man, I got to go a long way across this map, and you can fast travel, of course, like you can in all RPGs. But if you fast travel, you're going to miss seeing something. Like there was stuff coming out of the ground, and the AI is actually the human AI. Let me just keep it 100 here. The human AI is not that good. It's mostly melee, but the machine AI is extremely well done.
Gotcha. What do you think about the voice acting?
I thought people were a little too hard on that. It was really good. Again, I won't give the game away because for people who've not played it, that you start out as like a 6 or 7 year old child, and there's a point where they have to sell the character to like any other RPG. And there's a point that's so genuine and it's childlike. For me, that's what I needed to get invested into the character. You brought up Mass Effect first. Mass Effect, there's a scene where you have to go after the bad guy, Saren, and they're just not going to let you go after him in the state that you're in. They have to grant you something to do that, and that's a selling point of the game. And then they say you can go here, here, or here. You don't have to go where we tell you. It's your mission. Go where you want. So and that for me, when you put a personal investment in, it's like, yeah, I want to go out and stop this guy or this poor young girl in Horizon. Man, I feel really kind of bad for her. Just she had a genuine childlike moment. It was like, if you've ever felt at some point in your life like you were being outcasted for some reason, for whatever reason, you didn't make the baseball team or whatever, that this game is for you. That moment was like, wow, I felt really connected to her. So
gotcha.
We'll have to see if that happens in God of War, So
we'll
like, yeah, because it's open world and things like that. But yeah, as far as Mass Effect, if you like shooting games, it's a shooter, it's an RPG, it's story driven, and here's the selling point: you can save your game from Mass Effect 1 and import it into Mass Effect 2. So all your decisions that you made follow you into Mass Effect 2. All of them. Yeah, and then same for 2 into 3.
I don't think any other series has done that. That's very interesting. I like that.
They haven't done that. And the only game I can think of that did something similar to that was on PC. It was called Heroes Quest. And they did Heroes Quest 2, and it was like, well, you can import your game. I'm like, I didn't understand what that was. This is back in the late 80s, early 90s. So
gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's me. I'm a big RPG guy. So
yeah, same.
So yeah, but I had my fill of games online. I played Ghost Recon on the Xbox 360, that Advanced Warfighter or something like that. I think one day I played that for 9 hours straight. Didn't get up, didn't go past go, didn't eat. I just played that game online, and my whole day went by. And after that, I canceled my Xbox Live subscription.
Wow. Oh.
So it had nothing to do with the Xbox being crappy. I don't want people spamming me saying, "Oh, you just blah blah blah." No, I had to not play on it for a while. So yeah. But that's me in a nutshell. Any more questions? Yeah, anything. I feel like I'm up the bat.
I was gonna ask, what other games are you excited for this year on both sides of the console war? Or even multiplats?
Well, obviously Mass Effect in a few more hours, 72 hours. I'm getting it for the Pro. The MLB game, I grew up, I played in a, man, I'm dating myself. I played in a Little League All-Star game with Ken Griffey Jr., and now he's on the cover of this game. So
no way, that's awesome.
Yeah, up in Cincinnati. I'm from Cincinnati, and he played in Montgomery, and I played in what was the name of our county? It's all Hamilton County, but he was from Montgomery, and I played in Kennedy Heights. So when they had their big All-Star thing, he played shortstop and I played third base. So
You
that's
should get him to sign that game.
if he ever remembered me, yeah, right, yeah. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, that was probably a long ass time ago.
oh God, yeah, it's many moons ago. But tell you what, there was no there's two kind of people in the United States: the ones born before Star Wars and the ones born after Star Wars. I was born before the original Star Wars, so let's just put it like that.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, 77. So yeah, but that in MLB for right now, I've kind of got a little interest in Persona 5. And then that'll be what holds me, because then I'm gonna have to double back and play Nier Automata and play Neo. And
Gotcha.
that will hold me to. That's why I'm not. People are like, "Are you interested in what Sony does at E3?" I'm like, not really, because I've got so much to do right now as far as games.
Exactly.
As far as playing my games, as far as Xbox, yeah, I want them to. I don't. They may have this. I haven't looked. I don't know if they've got the Horizon DLC for Elite Dangerous, where you can actually land on the planets and transverse the planets and things like that. They have that. I may go ahead and grab that. And that's why I asked you, do you know of anything that's coming out? I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't trying to bash them Xbox. I didn't know something was coming, and because they said Phil was like keeping stuff closer to the vest now. And I'm like, well, maybe he's announced something. I just didn't see it. But if there's just nothing coming out yet, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, it's gonna get dry for a while. I mean, I think the next big game that I'm gonna pick up is gonna be Shadow of War in August. But like you said, that's a couple months off, so
it's gonna be and that's gonna be a multiplayer. Yeah, that's a multiplayer.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I know Gran Turismo. I'm waiting on that because I remember being in college and spending hours. You're studying for finals. I'm sitting up there taking a break. Like, let me gin up my car and trying to get the car to do certain things and putting different kind of transmissions in it and testing it on those tracks and actually writing down the times and trying to get better at it. That's this stuff like that. That's, it's Gran Turismo. I told people, if there was this is for everybody who has played Forza. Forza would not exist if it wasn't for Gran Turismo, period. Because Sony had a corner on the market on driving games, and Microsoft wanted a racing game to compete with them, and they got a good one. There's nothing wrong with Forza, and I like motorsports. Everybody else likes Horizon. I'm a motorsports guy. So,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but motorsports is more of a simulator, and Horizon is more of a arcade type racer. Nothing wrong with either one of them, though. They're both good series.
Agreed. But the game I'm waiting on to really sell me on a PS4 is Kingdom Hearts 3. That series, I am in love with that series. And I've been waiting so long. I think they announced that Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming at I think was it 2014, the E3 2014, they showed a trailer or whatever of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm so down for that. I'll spend $500 for that game.
Jeez.
No questions asked.
Yeah, now 2.8 came out, and I forgot that was out. I mean, I literally forgot that was out. I'm like, oh, that's right, Kingdom Hearts is out. But that's kind of the advantage if you're in the Sony ecosystem. They hit us with so much this year so far, and that I know it's going to slow down after May. It will. It's going to be summertime, but it's just so much to do. But yeah, 2.8 is supposed to be really good too. I don't know if that's a prequel to 3 or if there's going to be stuff that's going to happen in 3 that if you didn't see it in 2.8, you're going to be scratching your head like, what the hell, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm even excited for the new Yakuza game. There's another Yakuza game coming. I just hope that it's dubbed in English. It was hard to play that other Yakuza game and you're trying to read subtitles.
That's not good.
No, it wasn't for me. Yeah, and like I said, that's to me, this is something Sony dropped the ball on. And of course, Gravity Rush did not do well at all. They didn't really, and I've said this on another podcast. Sony needs to, should have put their foot to ass for that game because it was actually a pretty cool game. But when I talked to a couple people that were Gravity Rush fans, they were like, well, they didn't even use the same character from Gravity Rush 1. It was a totally different character, a totally different story. So they just didn't sell them on it. So It is what it is. But that's what I'm looking forward to. But I'll be on Mass Effect probably because I'm a platinum that game. I've platinum all Mass Effect games. That's just what I do. So I'll be.
That should last you a while.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Not excited about the facial animations that are coming out.
I've heard about that. That's terrible. I've heard people say that Mass Effect 3 had better facial animations. That's
I hope they're wrong. That's all I can say. I've got my fingers crossed.
Have you seen any gameplay yet?
Yeah, actually, when you came in, that's what I was looking at. I had to put that on pause real quick. That's my mic was muted because I was watching. And shout out to Sly Nation. He's a YouTuber and he does a lot of Destiny stuff, but he really likes Mass Effect. And I wanted to ask you about EA Access too. Yeah, I'm glad this came up. But yeah, I've been watching Sly Nation's videos, and it seems like a really cool story. Of course, that's kind of what I'm watching it for. The facial animations do look kind of crappy, but I can forgive that for a good story. But I'm going to give Mass Effect a little more of a buffer because I'm a fan. This, like a casual guy like you may see that and be like, "Oh, this is dog crap," you know?
Yeah. If the story's good, if the gameplay is good, if the lore of the whole universe is interesting me, then I can look past a game with that kind of a problem.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Try Mass Effect out because it's backwards compatible, and it actually comes with the DLC is free for that for the first Mass Effect. Bring down
Which
the
one
sky.
should I start on? Should I start on 1?
Yeah. If you want to create your character and get that personal investment, try 1, and it only costs like $9. And
yeah, it's probably very cheap.
And if you don't like it, and if you go to GameStop. If you don't, with them, you get 6 days with it, and if you don't like it, just take it back, get your money back, and you can do a video and bash me. Say his game was dog crap. Craig don't know what he's talking about.
I wouldn't do that to you, man.
I don't be for fun. let me ask you about EA Access. Okay,
go for it.
All right. Do you feel because remember, a lot of people were upset in the Xbox community when Titanfall 2 came out and it wasn't on the EA Access. All right, what if you have EA Access? I don't have it. Let's just say, do you have EA Access?
I had EA Access for a while, but now I do not.
Okay, well, let's say you have it and you plan on getting, and you got Mass Effect or something like that, or you didn't have it. How do you feel that there are already people just posting like 4 to 5 hours of video? Because you get like a 12-hour pass, I think, with Mass Effect. But they said you're going to be stuck on the planet. You can't go no further. It's like it locks you in. Do you feel EA Access is worth it in that aspect, that there's already people out showing the game? I mean, there's no diss on those people. They're streaming the game, whether it be on PC or on I don't know if they're streaming on Xbox or not. But do you feel that EA Access is worth it in that aspect, or that those people are getting ripped off?
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. I think it's $5 a month. You get to play some of these games, early and stuff. I think that's very interesting to me. I kind of wish that Xbox Game Pass had something like that where you could play some games a couple days early. But for like $5, you can literally just go online and get a subscription for that month, play the game for like however many days or hours early, and then you can cancel your subscription for next month. So if playing a game early for 5 hours is very interesting to me. And I think it honestly helps out a lot of people that do YouTube and stuff, because they can record a lot of video, record their commentary, and get all their uploads ready to go when the game launches and stuff like that, and just show people, what the game is all about. Things like
that. All right. Well, yeah, because it's always, it pops up on that Xbox screen that when you turn on your UI, it says try EA Access or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know. So it's like I said, I told people who didn't believe I had an Xbox, like, you can look at my thing. I don't know how you do that, but it's situated Spoon 26, but you're gonna see no activity because there's play what? I mean, what am I gonna play right now? So, but I do need to kind of give it. It's kind of like a battered ex-girlfriend, I guess. I don't bash it, but it's just right now it's not for me. So, but
gotcha. Completely understandable, man. Some people it's not worth it. It's your money.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate that. Yeah. Finally, a consumer.
Exactly. I'm looking at your gamer tag right now. You only got 3,700 gamer score. That's not
bad. That's not bad. Look at all that Mass Effect though I got there. if it can can pull it up.
I don't know if it will pull it up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe it will. Okay, let's see.
It should say like Mass Effect and I think Elite Dangerous and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I think I've had on there. So.
Oh yeah, you're playing Mass Effect 3 and 2. I see. Yeah, I see your achievements.
Yeah. I was racking them up, as they say. Rack them.
Oh, I'm looking at your games. And you got the Halo Master Chief Collection. Yeah, that's good. You got
yeah,
some games
it was
on
garbage.
Mafia 3.
Mafia 3 was okay. The story was outstanding. Let me tell you this: the story, and when they did the Gamer Awards and they gave away, I'm nothing against the game that won, nothing against it, but I don't know how the hell that game didn't win for the best story, because that character was as real as it got. Lincoln Clay, that dude was the realest mofo I've ever got to see on screen. Him and the guy from Grand Theft Auto. I like the character from Grand Theft Auto 5, not Michael. Those characters were just cool ass characters.
Franklin. Yeah, they were pretty real. Like it was really realistic to how people would talk in real life and shit.
Yeah, this is just real. Like I would probably be saying the same stuff that he's saying.
Gotcha, man.
So, it was cool. But yeah, anything else? We can go ahead and wrap it on up. And like I said, I do appreciate your time coming in and
Hey, no problem, man. I'm down to do these more often if you want to invite me. Like I was saying earlier, I might be trying to have something on my channel and I might invite you and maybe we'll see how that goes. One last question for you.
Okay.
Are you getting to get Xbox Scorpio?
I've got to see more about it. Like you made a very good point, legitimate point. As of right now, it doesn't exist. If I can't physically go into the store and ask questions about it right then and there, I can't. I, as a consumer, and this is just my advice for anybody out there, I always wait 90 days, especially on new electronic. I don't care what it is, on new electronic devices, because I bought a Sony Laserdisc back in the day. I'm talking about this was before Blu-ray, before regular DVD. It was a Laserdisc. It looked like a record. And I bought 3 movies. I bought Jaws, I bought Blue Thunder, and I bought Pumpkinhead. And there are no more Sony closed that down. There are no more Laserdiscs. So, and I was an early adopter. It's the first thing I got on my Sears credit card. Sears is out of business. That's how old I am. But I always would say to anybody, beware of being an early adopter, because you're just a beta tester. You're just a glorified beta tester, for the machine.
I like that. I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah, and just be careful. People are grown-ass people, grown-ass men and women. Go spend your money on what you want, but remember what happened to the MP3 players, and then everybody went out and got MP4 players, and then that was it. The MP4 didn't take off because with MP3 you could already hold up to 1,200 songs, and the average average human only listens to about 20 songs on average. Whether you're working out or anything like that, you only listen to about 20 songs, and that equates to that's about 75 minutes of music, and that's a lot of music. Just not unless you're just doing something outside and there's a party or something like that. But on average, you're about 70 minutes a day, give or take. So it's but I just I'm not going to buy one. It has nothing to do with it being Microsoft. I understand 6 T-flops, and like I said, I didn't know what a T-flop was. I had to look that up. I'm like, what's the big deal? And can it do 4K native? And I'm like, well, yeah, if they're doing 4K native, if Sony can do it on 4.2, I'm sure Microsoft will be able to get their people to do it too. But I just videos that people got mad. I'm like, well, they're going to use sparse rendering to get the 4K, which to me is fine. People are like, well, it's not 4K native. And I'm like, well, you don't understand. 2160p is 2160p. Yes, if it's native, it will be a little more cleaner, but it's not going to be that big a deal. Especially if it's sparse rendering and it's 4K, are you not going to buy it because it's not native? I mean, you got to really ask yourself that question, So, and there may be somebody that says, well, I'm not going to buy it. It's not 4K native. I'm like, all right, well, it's still 4K. You know, Rise of the Tomb
Yeah,
Raider, the
still
Pro is
4K, man.
yeah. So, but yeah, how about you? Are you gonna turn around and buy it? And how much do you think it's gonna cost?
All right, so I've done a couple videos on this. I think that on the Xbox Scorpio cannot be above $500. I think if they go any more above $500 for like the base model, then I think it'll be a flop. I think it'll be like the PS3. People are gonna see that price tag and they'll be like, I don't care how much power that thing has. I am not gonna go waste $600 on that. Especially when you can get a PS4 Pro that basically does the same thing for like $300 less almost whenever they drop the price, because they'll drop the price whenever Scorpio comes out. I think
Yeah.
if they want to be competitive about this and they want to get people to actually pick this thing up, I think they got to go like 400, 399. No more, no less. It's got to be 400. But I do think they'll have a couple different SKUs and models and things like that, depending on, if you want the bigger hard drive size, if you want possibly an elite controller with that thing, if you want to game with it. I think it would be smarter for them to do a $399 bundle with 500 gigabytes of hard drive space, no controller, and no game for the hardcore people that already have all the controllers, all the games, and already have an external hard drive with all their games on. That just make it a really competitive price point, in my opinion. I think that would really combat Sony's PS4 Pro and hopefully get a lot more people coming over to the Xbox side and actually pick this thing up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it. Yeah, that's a good point. If it's 500 gigs, but it has an external drive, and you can put all your games on the external drive, and then just go from there. That's actually a real good point. I didn't. That's hopefully they do that. But yeah, I mean, there are things about the Xbox I did like. People crack me up with the controller. Well, the controller's a controller. I mean, if you can't adjust to a controller, then you're not a gamer. But I understand what they're saying. I do like the kind of ridges that are in the on the Elite. That actually was pretty cool. That did feel good. Yeah, I certainly hope you're right with the SKUs. You're the third or fourth person that has said that, and that may have legs. Because I've heard Randall Thor talk about that, and I've heard other big Xbox guys say they should come out with multiple SKUs. Yeah, something that. What about 500 gigs at $299? You think we'll see that?
Or not $399, but maybe not $299. It might happen. It all depends on how much the thing costs to make and everything. Microsoft's hopefully they're not going to fuck this up again. Really got my fingers crossed they don't do that. Who knows? It's Microsoft. It could be $600. We have no idea at this point. Phil has said it's a premium console, so we have literally no idea what could happen. But let me ask you this. Yep. Do you think it'll come out? Have you heard about the GameStop leaks saying it's going to come out in August? Do you think you think it could happen, or do you think it's going to be holiday 2017 like they said?
I hope more than likely it's going to be Q4. So I think Q4 starts in September. So if they can get it out, me being selfish, my birthday's in August. So yeah, put it out in August. So it would be cool because you do know. Now, wait a minute. No, I'm thinking of Leo. I'm thinking about something different. I hope it comes out in August because it's my birthday. That's just me being selfish. But it'll probably go Q4, which is late September.
That's exactly what I would love to have it come out in August, just because if they're trying to push the most powerful narrative and all that and have the best games be shown off on the best platform, I think it'd be better to show it off in August before all the major. That way they can get all the games looking better on the Scorpio and things like that.
Yeah, and that may take a year. People got to be patient with it because of developers.
Hey, talk for 1 sec. I got to go let my mom inside the house.
All right, go ahead, man. Yep. This is Craig Harris. I'm here with Gamers United. I shout out to the 3 to 5 people that have joined us. I do appreciate it. It's Saturday afternoon. You all could be doing anything, but you're here with us. Do appreciate it. As we're saying, we're talking Xbox. We're not bashing it. Gamers United has a really cool channel. People need to go check it out. It's got cool content on it. He doesn't bash Xbox or hate it. And he doesn't hate the PlayStation either. So I certainly hope people are enjoying it and getting something out of it.
Sorry, man. I locked my mom out the house. It's not a good day to do that.
That's fine. That's fine. If you're not in that, you didn't get that blizzard weather. You're not in that part of the United States, are you?
Oh no, man, I'm in Texas.
Oh,
We
okay.
got the heat coming over here, man. It feels good outside.
Yeah, friends of mine, they moved. A lot of them worked at Toyota, and they moved down to Texas. So yeah, they got a big plant down there. I guess they're at. So yeah, they've yeah, he lives in Austin, I think. But yeah, as far as Scorpio was, what was I about to ask you? Oh, you were asking me about, yeah, when I hope it comes out in August. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Do you think they need to have a separate press conference for Scorpio?
I definitely think that they need to have a separate press conference. Phil went on Podcast Unlocked. I'm not sure if you heard
Yeah,
that podcast and
yeah, I
everything.
watched
I
it.
think most people have seen it at this point. But he said, that he wants E3 to be about the games and everything. And there's just honestly a lot to talk about with Scorpio, all the specs and the hardware that's inside the thing. I don't think people want to waste like 20 minutes at E3 talking about that thing. I think they should have a separate conference talking about the advantages of Scorpio, all the features it's going to have, the 4K gameplay recording that's going to be inside of it, the 4K 60. I definitely think they need to have a pre-E3 reveal because no one wants to sit there at E3 through 20 minutes of hardware talk and just be bored out of their minds. They want to see games, and I think Phil understands that. So I do think that we'll see something in either April or maybe May.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I know they're going Sunday at E3, and people tweeted me why do I think they're doing that? I said, look, because of the stocks. Microsoft announcing a new product on Sunday, Monday when the market opens, the stock market opens, their stock is going to jump. I think it could jump 100 points because they're making a brand new product, and anytime a company makes a brand new product, their stock goes up. Doesn't matter if that's why iPhone makes a new iPhone every year. They're not making a ton of improvements to the iPhone. They're just not. They're just making just enough to call it a different iteration, and their stock goes up every year.
Exactly. I heard you say yesterday in your video, don't you own stock in Microsoft or something?
Yeah, I was able to get stock in them. Jeez, I think it was, how much did it cost? $79.90. It was $79 a share when I bought some stock.
When did you buy stock? When the Xbox One launched? Because I bet it was pretty low at that point.
No, I bought stock, 2003.
Oh, God.
2003. Now, it tanked. It tanked when the markets crashed in 7. When the markets crashed, either 7 or 8, when the market went down, everybody's stock was cheap at that point. So I was working at a hospital at the time, and I was working in surgery, and you hear the doctors, anesthesiologists are talking, man. I don't know because everybody's losing money at that point. You're not losing real money. It's just on paper you're losing money, and so I remember one of the anesthesiologists saying, I don't know what stock to buy, and the doctor said, well, buy tech stock, Microsoft, Google, Apple. It was still higher than normal, but it was way cheaper, and a lot of it was splitting. So that's when you buy. And now the stock is worth enough where I can write them a letter to see what the hell's going on over there. So, like any holder, but yeah, it's cool. Yeah, stock in them. I got a little stock in Yahoo, which is ridiculously up and down because they always announce new people. There's some woman took over, then 6 months later, some man took over, and that affects the stock. It either goes up or goes down depending on what Yahoo's doing.
Yeah, it's like GameStop. That's gonna go down. It's probably gonna keep going down.
Yeah, and I didn't like what GameStop did to Microsoft and Sony before the launch of both these new consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox. And I don't know if you remember this story. It was a true story. They said if they had digital content only, they weren't going to carry the consoles. And I hope they say that again, and I hope Microsoft calls them out.
I did hear about that, yeah. And there was also talks about the Scorpio not having a disk drive, but if they didn't have a disk drive, I'm pretty sure that GameStop would not sell Scorpio or promote Xbox in general. That would just hurt the Xbox people that already have discs and stuff like that. Yeah, they definitely, I think they should have disk drives in every single console, at least for another generation after this. Maybe after that, we'll see how it goes, but I think too many people are still stuck in the physical world. I know me, I have a couple games myself that are still physical.
Yeah. Well, that's me. I'm afraid that if I don't, I won't be able to get my money back if I don't like the game. So there, I mean, that's my problem with it. People have said no, if you don't like it, you can get a refund and stuff like that. But that's just been my problem. And niece's generation. My niece is 19, so yeah, she's used to going on to eBay and wherever, Craigslist, or buying stuff digitally, Amazon, whatever. We're not used to doing that. I every time, I mean, didn't Yahoo just have a breach of like 2.5 million people? Like,
oh, they did. I did hear.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so every time something like that happens, because I have a Yahoo account, I don't use it, but I have a Yahoo account. I had to create it for my EA account. So I had to create a new email address and all that. I started it over just after I got the Mass Effect series. So I created a new EA account. But yeah, just every time I get the nerve up to do something, something happens. I'm like, well, maybe God's trying to tell me not to do it. So
maybe.
Yeah, but nah, it's I certainly hope Scorpio. What I think it's going to do for Microsoft is it will change the narrative back to gaming. And yeah, it's okay to have Netflix and Hulu and all that kind of stuff on the system, but it has to be secondary. I know with the PlayStation, when you get to that UI, you have to go to a TV UI, and then you have to press another button to pull that stuff down. It doesn't just show you automatically. It just, that thing comes on, and a friend of mine, he's a big Xbox gamer. He said, he said, there's nothing here. There's nothing going on. I said, did you put a game in there yet? And he said, not yet. I said, why don't you put a game in there? Because that's what you bought the PlayStation for. You didn't buy it to look at the UI. You bought it to play your damn games. So
Definitely.
you gotta play your games. Don't worry about the UI. Let Sony worry about the UI. You can email Sony and say the UI is garbage. I mean, you can. I mean, it's not like they won't get the letter, So, like with Microsoft, you can email and talk to them. I mean, they take your complaint seriously. They don't file 13 your complaint. But the Sony UI, it's just ready to go. You turn it on and it's there.
A lot of people talk shit about the Sony UI. I actually think it's very simple and clean. I actually like it. I mean, the new Xbox UI is pretty good too, in my opinion. But the Sony UI, you can't beat simplicity.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this with the Scorpio before we go here, because this is a streaming question. Microsoft is doing something called Blue or Beam or something like that to compete with YouTube, right? So you can
Beam.
stream. Okay. Yeah. Do you think Scorpio comes with that already built in, or do you think Microsoft announces Beam anytime soon so that you can stream your games? Because you can't stream on a YouTube, and I've told people that really has hurt them. That you can't. I guess. I mean, at least on my Xbox One S, I don't know how to stream my games to YouTube. If there's a way to do it, somebody can email me the directions. But I don't know. It'll let me do it.
I think it might have to do with downloading the YouTube app. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, the fact that I got to download an app is terrible. But let's leave it at that. Let me just leave it. I should just be able to do it. But I did, like a friend of mine told me the other night. He said Google and Microsoft, they're at war with each other. Google's not going to help Microsoft out, and let them upload stuff. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. I just know you got two billionaire companies, and they're just acting like 2-year-olds. So
yeah, I think it will have Beam integrated into the system. I think that'd be the smartest move, because they are trying to push that, and I think they are trying to beat Twitch and stuff like that. So it would just make sense.
Yeah, and to everybody else, yeah. Somebody tweeted me, "Am I going to get a Scorpio again?" I don't buy anything after 90 days. So if it comes out in August, I may put one in reserve, because at that point, if you all don't know this, you all can start putting stuff in layaway in like 90 more days. So if the Scorpio comes out in August, I have no problem going to Walmart, whipping out whatever, 20%, 25%, and saying, I'm putting this in layaway, so I'll come and get it out in December. So
is that just to see how it performs and to see if there's any problems?
Exactly. There's a fail rate with all electronic devices. I don't care what it is. This has nothing to do with the red ring of death. It's an electronic device, and it will have a fail rate. The reason why people, when Sony released their PS4, and people were like, well, you couldn't find them. There was a 6-month, there was a 6-month delay on the PlayStation. You could not go find one for about 6 months. And it had nothing to do with them shorting the console. They had enough consoles. They just had them in storage here in the United States, out in California on a shipping dock. They were waiting for the fail rate to come back. And they won't know the fail rate for about 30 to 90 days. But that's any electronic device. Any of them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And so that's me, but that's just me as a consumer to protect myself. If somebody, grown-ass man, wants to walk in and buy it, I'm not going to say you should wait. I'm not.
If you're going to pay $500 for a new console, you got to see how it's going to do. You don't want to buy that and then have that not work. I see exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah, my cousin, because he did that at Best Buy, he bought a TV. He spent $600 for 4K, and it didn't have HDR. I'm like, how can you walk into a store, grown-ass man, spend over $500, get the whatever it is, they sell you the insurance or whatever the extended warranty, and walk out, and then the TV doesn't do what you thought it was going to do. I mean, that's what I told him, So he ended up taking the TV back, and he got the one he wanted, and he just dropped the warranty. Because I said you don't need it. It's a Samsung TV, and all Samsung TVs are warranted for 1 year by Samsung. So why buy the Best Buy warranty? If it breaks within a year, you just call Samsung. That's all you got to do. 800 number right there. It's toll free. But that's what happens. But that's me though. Like I said, I'm old school, so I always wait. I can wait.
Gotcha.
So
I'm different. I can't wait. I think I'm gonna get that day one.
I don't, and
also
I can't
just because my Xbox One is getting old, getting a little bit dusty, and I need something new.
And do you think they have a trade-in program on it, or do you think they just go raw and say no trade-in, like trade your Xbox?
I think they might have
something like that.
I think they might have one for the 1S. I know they had one when the 1S came out when you could trade in the regular one, the OG Xbox. But I don't think the OG Xbox isn't going to be worth anything when Scorpio comes out. You'll probably be able to find these for like $50 online.
Yeah.
This is nothing. That ain't worth nothing now.
Yeah, you can go to a pawn shop. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. You can go to a pawn shop here and get a original, the OG one, the Fat Boy, I guess that's what they call them now, the one in the green and white box. You can get one for like $100. And if you haggle good enough and you've been a customer there a while, you can get it for about $85. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's dirt cheap.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. Now, I told people for $85, yeah, go ahead and buy one. I mean, it's $85 as a Blu-ray player. It's if you don't have a smart TV, it converts it to a smart TV. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead at that point. You're gonna be disappointed, but go ahead.
I think the OG PS4 is more than that, isn't it? I think you can still find those for like $150.
Yeah, $150, and they're obsoleted now. I don't think they make them anymore. They're making the Slim, but which is still the OG PS4. So I told several people. Oh, final question for you.
Gotcha.
Final question here. Is this your opinion, because you're in the Xbox ecosystem, is the Scorpio a 9th gen console?
Now, I would love to have Microsoft just be like, this is the 9th generation, boom, come out with guns swinging, all that stuff. I'd love for them to do that, but I don't think they're going to do that at all. Phil said multiple times that this is a family of devices and that all your accessories and games and everything like that you work on your 1S and your 1 will work on your Scorpio. So I don't think this thing is going to be a new generation at all. Even though he has said he wants to end console generations for how they've been in the past, you have to upgrade to a new controller, you have to leave all your games behind. I think that we'll be able to obviously have our game library stick with us if we went digital and that kind of stuff. But I still think that the next generation is going to be like 2020, something like that. I think there'll be at least one more console generation before we all switch over to PCs, or before Microsoft and Sony fully put all of their chips into the PC market.
Yeah, I think Sony will announce a PS. I agree. I think, well, to me, it's a 9th gen console because it's going to do 4K. Period. No Xbox does 4K native.
Yeah,
At all.
that in my opinion, 9th gen is 4K, and that's what I think is the future. But like only the hardcore have 4K. Like I don't even have a 4K TV, so I think they're jumping the gun a little bit. But yeah, next generation will be about 4K.
Yeah, I heard you say that in your video. Yeah, I have a 4K TV. I don't have HDR though, because I was like, well, it's 4K. It's a Samsung. I'm not worried about HDR because there wasn't a whole lot out for it, and the games still look phenomenal because you're getting the matching. Because any 4K TV is going to upscale anything. You know, even the people who are having trouble with Mass Effect with the screen tear, and I'm like, well, it still looks good. It's just a prettier screen tear for you. It's in 900p. It's just not, it's an unnatural number, you know. So it's but it still looks good. I don't hear anybody complaining about what it looks like as much as they are about the facial model. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Well, man, I'll go ahead and wrap it up, man. We've been going for about an hour, and I do appreciate your time. Go ahead and shout yourself out one more time there for me, my friend.
Once again, everybody, I want to say thank you to everybody that got this far into the video. As always, like the video. I know me and Craig would appreciate that. I think we had a very good discussion for you guys today. As always, come out and check my channel out. I got some good videos. I got good topics. I got good discussions that we're going to be talking about as time goes on, as the Scorpio comes out, all of that good stuff. I think me and Craig had a pretty good discussion today, and I think we might be doing this more often into the future. So, stick around for that.
All right. Well, I do appreciate that, and I appreciate your time. It's Saturday. You're in the Central Time Zone, so now I know that, so I can adjust my time. I'm Eastern Time, and this is Gamers United. Craig Harris, Gamers United, very nice enough to come into Craig's Corner. Episode 4. Don't be confused with episode 5. I messed up. And I do appreciate the conversation, Gamers United. Man, God bless you and your family. And thanks for joining me on this Saturday afternoon.
No problem, man. Same to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, brother. And we're going to end it right there.